All right, let's dive in. Today we're tackling Testosil.
Testosterone, okay.
This supplement that's making some pretty bold claims about boosting testosterone naturally.
Sounds intriguing.
We've got their website, we've got these, really enthusiastic customer testimonials,
Right?
and even some studies they're citing.
Okay, so they've got some science behind it, potentially.
Yeah, so we got to figure out, right, miracle product or just really good marketing? What do you think?
Well, the language on their website is definitely attention-grabbing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're throwing around number like a 434% increase in testosterone.
Whoa, 434%.
You heard that right, 434%.
That's a lot.
And they're promising crazy energy, muscle growth like you wouldn't
Like
believe,
superhero level.
practically. And they even throw in words like kick-ass and science fiction.
So they're really going for that dramatic,
Oh, yeah, definitely playing up the exciting possibilities.
It's like a comic book ad or
A
something.
little bit, yeah.
But they are referencing a scientific study
Okay.
that supposedly backs up this massive testosterone boost, and it's all about ashwagandha extract, one of their main ingredients.
Interesting. So what does this study actually say?
Well, apparently it did show a significant increase in testosterone for the guys taking the ashwagandha extract
Okay.
compared to the placebo group.
Right, but there's always a catch, right?
Right, and the catch here is that both groups were also doing resistance training.
Ah, so it's not just the ashwagandha alone.
Exactly. It's the combo of the supplement and the exercise.
That makes more sense.
But they do give specific numbers.
Okay, let's hear them.
So the placebo group's testosterone went up by 18.0 NGDL,
Right.
and the ashwagandha group went up to 96.2.
That is still a noticeable difference.
It is.
So even with the exercise, there seems to be something going on there.
Yeah, it's not nothing.
Right. And it's good they mentioned it's a placebo-controlled double-blind study.
Which means for those of us who,
Oh, right. It means that neither the people in the study nor the researchers
yeah.
knew who was getting the real ashwagandha and who was getting the placebo.
So that makes the results more reliable, you're saying.
Exactly. It helps eliminate bias and makes the findings more trustworthy.
Okay, that's good to know.
But, and there's always a but, right?
Of course there's always a but.
This study, it only looked at men between 18 and 50 years old,
Oh, interesting.
which is, a younger crowd than Testosterone seems to be marketing towards.
That's true. Yeah, they're really talking to like the guys who are starting to feel their age a bit.
Exactly. So we don't know for sure if the results would be as impressive for, say, someone in their 60s.
Okay, that's a good point.
It's something to keep in mind for sure.
And on top of the testosterone boost, they also mention all these other benefits they saw in the study.
Like what?
Increased muscle size and strength, less muscle damage after workouts,
Oh, why?
and even a decrease in body fat percentage.
They're really painting a rosy picture, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
But here's where we need to be careful and remember the difference between correlation and causation.
Right, because just because these improvements happened at the same time as taking the ashwagandha.
Doesn't necessarily mean the supplement directly caused them.
Okay, so maybe the exercise program itself was the main driver?
Could be. Or maybe it was a combination of things.
Right, it's like saying, I ate ice cream every day for a month and got a promotion, so ice cream must cause promotions.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
Correlation doesn't equal causation.
You got it.
So we need more data to really figure out what's going on.
Definitely. More research is always helpful.
But they do mention a couple of other studies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that seem to support some of their claims.
Interesting. What do they find?
Well, one reported a 27.9% reduction in cortisol levels,
Cortisol, the stress hormone.
the one and only.
Okay, that's interesting.
And another study showed an increase in muscle size, specifically in the arms and chest.
So they're pulling from different sources to back up their claims?
Yeah, it's not just that one ashwagandha study.
Right, which is good to see.
But still, we're not talking about, mountains of research here.
No, definitely not a slam dunk case.
And then, of course, there are the customer testimonials.
Ah, yes, the glowing
You
reviews.
can't miss them on the website, right? Lots of guys talking about more energy, feeling stronger.
Right, the classic, I feel amazing testimonials.
Exactly. Better sleep. Some even saying they've put on noticeable muscle.
They're always compelling, those personal stories.
They are. But how much weight do those actually hold, scientifically?
Well, testimonials are great for marketing,
Yeah.
but from a scientific perspective, they're really just anecdotal evidence.
Meaning?
meaning we don't know the full picture of what else was going on in those individuals' lives.
Right, like maybe they made other changes at the same time?
Exactly. Maybe they started eating better or working out more consistently.
So it's hard to say if it was really the testosterone that made the difference?
It could be, but it could also be a placebo effect.
Ah,
Yeah.
explain that one.
So when people believe something will work, they often experience positive changes.
Even if it's not really doing anything.
Exactly. The power of belief is a real thing.
Okay, so we're seeing a pattern here, right? Some promising research.
Yeah.
But also a healthy dose of skepticism needed.
Absolutely. Don't just take their word for it. Investigate a bit.
Channel your inner detective, everyone.
Exactly. And let's dig a bit deeper into some of their specific ingredients.
Okay, because they make a big deal about using hyperconcentrated KSM-66 ashwagandha extract.
Right. The KSM-66, I've heard of that.
And they say it's over 1,200% more potent than regular ashwagandha powder.
Whoa. That's a big number.
Yeah, so why go with such a concentrated form? Does that automatically mean better results?
Not necessarily. More isn't always better in the world of supplements.
Okay, so explain this KSM-66 then.
Sure. So KSM-66 is a specific type of ashwagandha extract. It's patented.
So it's like their special blend?
Kind of, yeah. And has been studied for its benefits, even won some awards for its quality.
So it's not just some random stuff they threw in there?
No, it has some legitimacy.
Okay, but how our bodies process something isn't always a simple more is better situation, right?
Exactly. It's more complicated than that.
Depends on the person, the dosage, the whole formulation.
It's a complex interaction.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, they also mentioned something called Astrogen.
Astrogen, yeah, what is that all about?
So that's supposed to enhance absorption.
Of the other ingredients?
Yep, like a booster to help your body take in more of the good stuff.
Okay, so is there any evidence that it actually works?
There's some research suggesting it can improve nutrient absorption. Yeah,
So it's like a fancy delivery system?
exactly. But even with a fancy delivery system.
Right, if the package itself is empty, it doesn't really matter.
Precisely. And speaking of the package,
What else is in this Testoil concoction?
well, buckle up because the ingredient list is a mouthful.
Hit me with it.
We've got fenugreek, ZMA, D-aspartic acid,
Yeah.
L-arginine HCl,
Okay, keep going. I'm writing this down.
Panax ginseng, allium sativa, calcium D-pantothenate, and vitamin D3.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
It is quite the mix.
And what are all those supposed to do?
What some of them have been linked to potential benefits for testosterone
Okay.
or for balancing estrogen levels.
But there's a but coming, isn't there?
Of course there is. Always be cautious, right?
Right.
Because the effects of individual ingredients can be pretty limited.
So it's not like a magic formula where you just throw everything in and boom, results.
Not quite that simple.
And they might need specific dosages to actually have a noticeable effect.
Exactly. It's all about the right balance and the right amounts.
Okay, so it's starting to feel a bit complicated, all this.
It is complex for sure.
And that's why we got to be informed.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health.
One last thing they highlight is their lifetime money-back guarantee.
Oh, yeah, that's a bold move.
So does that mean they really believe in their product?
It could. It definitely suggests a level of confidence.
Right, like they're willing to put their money where their mouth is.
Potentially. But let's not forget, it's also a marketing tactic.
True, they got to sell the product somehow.
Right. So we need to look at the whole picture, not just that guarantee.
Okay, so lots to consider here with this Testoil.
Definitely a mixed bag so far.
We've got some promising hints from the research, but also some marketing hype to sift through.
And those testimonials, while interesting, aren't the be-all and end-all.
Right, we need to stay critical.
Absolutely. Always be an informed consumer.
I like that. Informed consumer, that's the takeaway so far.
For sure. Do your research, ask questions, and don't just believe everything you read.
Okay, I think we're starting to get a clearer picture of this Testoil situation.
We're getting there.
But we're not done yet, right?
Oh no, we've got more to uncover.
Stay tuned, everyone. We're going deeper.
Deeper we go.
Okay, so we've got this mix of, like, promising research, but also some marketing hype and a few question marks.
Yeah, it's a bit of a puzzle.
So someone who's thinking about trying Testoil, or any testosterone booster, really,
Right. Any supplement like this.
how should they approach this whole thing? What would you say?
I think the key is to be an informed consumer.
Informed consumer, yeah.
Don't just take those flashy claims and those, glowing testimonials at face value.
Right, don't just blindly believe everything.
Exactly. Dig a little deeper, do your research.
So, like, channel our inner Sherlock Holmes.
Exactly. Put on your detective hat.
I love that. Okay, so how do we do that? Where do we start?
Start by looking for well-designed studies.
Okay.
published in reputable journals, not just some random website.
So where can people find those?
There are databases online like PubMed
PubMed. Oh.
where you can search for specific topics and see what research has been done.
And I guess one study isn't really enough to go on, right?
Absolutely not. Look for a body of evidence.
Multiple studies showing similar results.
Yeah, consistent findings across different studies. That's what you want to see.
So it's about looking for patterns, not just cherry-picking the one study that supports what you want to believe.
Exactly. Got to be objective.
Okay. And what about the details of those studies? Does that matter?
Absolutely. The details are crucial.
Like what kind of details?
Who were the participants? How old were they? What were the dosages used? How long did the study last? All that matters.
Okay, because what works for one group might not work for everyone.
Right. You got to see if the study's relevant to you and your situation.
It's easy to get swept up in the marketing, you know?
Oh, for sure. They make it sound so tempting.
So are there any red flags we should watch out for? Things that scream marketing hype?
Definitely be wary of exaggerated claims,
Okay,
like promises of super fast results, get ripped in a week kind of stuff.
right, because building muscle and boosting testosterone, it takes time.
It does. It's a process, not a quick fix.
No shortcuts to superhero physique, huh?
Sadly not. Consistency and hard work are key.
And I guess, even if the research looks promising, talking to your doctor before starting any new supplement is always a good idea.
Absolutely. That's crucial, especially if you have any health conditions or take medications.
Right, because what works for one person might not be safe for another.
Exactly. Your doctor can give you personalized advice.
And I bet they can help you figure out if a supplement is even necessary, right?
Often there are other ways to reach your goals,
Like,
focusing on diet, exercise, stress management.
right, the basics, but they're important.
They are the foundation of good health.
So supplements might be a piece of the puzzle, but not the whole picture.
Exactly. They can complement a healthy lifestyle, but they shouldn't replace it.
And speaking of puzzles, we haven't really talked about the cost of these supplements.
Ah, yes. That's a factor too.
Because they can get pretty expensive, right?
They can, especially if you're taking them long term.
So it's about weighing the potential benefits against the cost.
Exactly. Is it worth the investment for you?
And sometimes those lifestyle changes, like eating better and exercising,
Right.
they might be more affordable in the long run.
And often more effective too.
True. So we got to think about all these things.
Lots to consider for sure.
Well, this has been super helpful. I'm feeling a lot more informed already.
That's great to hear. That's the goal.
It's like you said, knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely. The more you know, the better choices you can make.
And it's empowering to feel like you can actually make those choices for yourself, not just be swayed by marketing.
I agree. It's about taking control of your health.
So anything else we should touch on regarding Testosterone specifically?
Well, they do make a point of emphasizing those patented ingredients,
The KSM-66 and the Astrogen?
right? Which suggests a certain level of quality control.
So that's a good sign.
It could be. It means they're not just using random generic ingredients.
But even with those patented ingredients, we shouldn't just blindly trust them.
Of course not. Always maintain a critical eye.
Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this whole critical consumer mindset.
Good. That's what we want.
It's about asking questions, digging deeper, not being afraid to challenge those bold claims.
Exactly. Don't be passive. Be an active participant in your health journey.
I like that. Be active.
And remember, knowledge is your best tool.
All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Testosterone and the world of testosterone boosters,
Yeah, what's the final takeaway?
what's the one thing you want to leave our listeners with?
Be curious, be informed, and be an active participant in your health journey.
I love that. Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's all about empowerment.
And taking control of your own health.
Exactly. Don't let marketing hype dictate your decisions.
That's a great point to end on. So listeners, I'm turning the tables on you now.
Oh, interesting.
Given everything we've discussed about Testosterone, what additional questions would you ask?
What would you want to know to feel truly confident about making a decision?
Because even after all this digging we've done,
Right.
there's always more to consider, right?
Absolutely. It's an ongoing process.
So keep those questions coming, stay curious, and never stop learning.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, that's a great point to end on, actually.
It is, yeah.
It really highlights that, even with all the information we've gone through, making an informed decision, it's a journey.
It really is.
There's always more to learn, and it's really up to each of us to find those answers.
Absolutely. You got to be proactive.
Yeah. So listeners, I want to turn the tables on you for a second.
Oh, okay. I like this.
Given everything we've talked about today about Testosterone, all this stuff,
Yeah.
what additional questions would you ask before making a decision about this supplement.
Oh, yeah. What would you want to know to feel really confident, like truly comfortable?
Because we've looked at the marketing, we've dug into the research, looked at the ingredients.
We've covered a lot.
But ultimately, you're the one in the driver's seat,
All right.
right?
You are. It's your health.
So keep those questions coming, stay curious, and never stop learning.
That's the key. Never stop exploring and asking questions.
Until next time, happy diving, everyone.
Happy diving.